Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor of the Tenkar's Tavern blog. So, I got to thinking today about Raw, run as written or rules as written, because it's a conversation that's been going on in the Shadow Dark community about people going, oh, I don't understand why people are talking about house ruling Shadow Dark. You should play it as it is. The rules are as they're meant to be, and this is the experience you're supposed to experience. And you know what? If you are somebody who, I don't know, has been playing for a while, we didn't call it house ruling back in the day, but we all had house rules in our AD&D games, our AD&D 1A games, because you had to find the rules that fit your style of play as a GM and your player's style. So you tweaked. And does anybody really run AD&D 1E rules as written? Why would you? Weapon speed? Do you really want to have to take that into account? Uh, Weapon versus AC adjustment, which was only against humanoid opponents because it didn't really apply to monster AC. Why would you? The wacky initiative system with the weapon speed factor that occasionally could have like a dagger attack 3 times before a two-handed sword if you could figure it out. You dropped it, right? Most of us wound up dropping the whole segments in 1E. Yet we were still playing 1E, right? You adjusted it to your players. You adjusted it to your group. If you had asked us if we were playing 1E as written, we would have probably just said yes. Because we didn't see what we were doing as changing the rules. It certainly was. But even Gary Gygax himself didn't play with the rules as written. Why were the rules as written? Why was that important? Because Gary saw with basic and expert, or even more importantly with OD&D, that the rules were not being played as written. You probably couldn't play White Box as written. So people were tinkering with the rules. And where does that become an issue? Not at your home group. You're all playing with the same tinkered rules. When you go to a convention, now everybody has their own set of tinkered rules. Nobody is playing with the same set of rules. Therefore, AD&D 1E. It was to give you a unified set of rules that covered basically everything, and there was no need to house rule, although there were rules that even Gary didn't use in his own home campaign. So therefore, he was tinkering. I know that when I played at a convention, gaming convention at Columbia University back in, I think, 86, 87. It was very much a 1E game. It was very much house ruled. You adjust to those house rules. You know, we weren't using weapon speed. We weren't using armor adjustment. I believe that we were using individual initiative and we were getting reaction adjustments to our initiative based upon dexterity. It's just you roll with it. I'm in an AD&D 2E game with Joe the lawyer. Joe has probably at least 24 pages of house rules. But, and it's subject to change, but the rules as written, including his house rules, are the rules that we're going by. And if there's a change, you'll get the change for the next session. You're informed of it. When I ran Dwimmerm out as a playtest years ago, I read the material and I was like, these rooms' descriptions are very sparse. Many of these rooms have no descriptions. They're empty rooms. I know my group. If I run it as written, which I started out the session doing, they're going to zone out. Right? When you have a sparsely detailed dungeon, you have to embellish. But technically, you're not running as written. Go figure that one out. Right? As a DM, you're supposed to flesh things out. You're supposed to fill in the holes, the potholes, the gaps. You're supposed to find the thread that weaves up the tears in the adventure and make everything run perfectly. I don't think I've ever run an adventure as written. I might not look at it and go, oh, I need to change X, Y, and Z. But when I run it, I'm changing little bits and pieces to fit my group, to fit my expectations as a GM, as a DM. There's nothing wrong with that. Run as written is interesting as an experiment in gameplay, honestly. Um, and it's certainly more important if you're at a convention. But again, if you're going to change some of the rules around, so long as you let your players know ahead of time, they're running as written what you've changed. The run is written, it's supposed to be there so there's no surprises to players. So long as you're not surprising them, that's good. My opinion. Maybe you have different opinions. I don't run Swords and Wizardry as written. I have little house rules for it. That's why I did Swords and Wizardry Light. That's why we did Continual Light. I know. Still waiting to see how this whole OGL shit for the SRD 3.1 is it, I guess, settles out. But I'd like to hear your opinions on this. Do you are you a big run as written? Don't change the rules even if they're fucked up. Because when you were playing games back in the late 70s, 80s, even 90s, you were getting broken rule sets that could not be played as written. It couldn't be. Run was written, and you will come to a screeching halt. You had to improvise. You had to fix on the fly. I know the expectations are different these days, but do you take a game like Shadow Dark? It's a good example. And do you change things with it? Like I would definitely change how the long rest works. Full hit points back. Fuck you. That's not my style of play. I would change it, but I would let my players know before that first session. They need to know before they're actually in that situation. But it's still Shadow Dark. Just my my take on it. Right? It's kind of like Amber. There's a Lassie series, like different. It's all Amber, but it's like different. It's different shadows. It's still Shadow Dark. It's my twist on it. All right, folks. Tell me your opinions. Tell me what you think of Run as Written. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Folks, as always, be safe, be well, God bless. Roll the dice, roll them well. Back again tomorrow with a live stream. I think we have two special guests. I think one's Levi Combs, and the other one was mentioned to me in a PM earlier today. I don't have the PM in front of me. You'll have to find out tomorrow. 8 p.m. every Wednesday. We have a live stream. Join us. All right, folks. Good luck. God bless.